What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So we are back again for another episode review of Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup. This season 6, episode 13, positives and negatives. Girl, let's just get into it because why? Why is Zariah and Troy back on this show? Why are they here? I'm sitting here like, who? What? Mind you, it's not even him, okay? It's her. Mind you, at the same time, he encouraging the mess because why are you still with her? I just don't understand. I guess two peas in a pod. Because when their season went off, okay, when their little section of their season went off, all of that mess that was going on Facebook with the mama calling her out, talking about how she a hoe and she, did this and she got this and she got that. I said, damn, bitch, you said she burning with everything. I was like, what? Ain't no coming back from all of that. Okay, so I understand that these episodes have probably they already been filmed probably like last year, right after they filmed the previous season that they were on. They just continued it up and everything. But girl, it just don't look good with the fact that, I feel like with these reality people, no matter what reality show it is, they need to put in their contract and make them sign an NDA that they can't go on social media. They can't go on social media and doing all that mess before the show come on. Okay, before the show come on, because baby, we got to leave some of the mystery to the show. Okay, because we shouldn't be knowing all of this stuff before it comes on, and when we watching, I'm like, what? That ain't even how that go. But no, okay. Zariah is still a bitch. I'm sorry to put it out there like that, and well, actually, I'm not. You know what, Zariah? I just don't understand. How do you become such a jealous person like that? And it's more selfish. She's very selfish. She's very self-centered. And it's all about her. Me. What about me? What about my feelings and all this stuff? And I want you for myself. I just don't understand how is it that these people get with people who are in prison or jail and they have been locked down for multiple years. I don't care if it's one is just 1 year. That's not multiple. Okay. Multiple years. Okay. More than one. And even then, they have not seen their families. And I get it. You are the partner in this situation, but most of the time, y'all are just the plaything for the moment. Yeah, you may be the girlfriend or the boyfriend, but y'all not the wife and you're not the husband. But at the same time, even if you were the wife and the husband, you still have to have some type of leeway and be thoughtful at the fact that these people, the people that I'm with and I'm talking to who are behind bars, when they get out, they're going to have family and friends that have been in the picture way longer than I have and who have been missing them way longer than I have, okay? And truth be told, I just feel like unless you the spouse, the family got first did. That just really feels like how it should be. You know what I'm saying? And when I say spouse, again, I'm talking about actually marriage, okay? But at the same time, how come y'all don't know how to compromise and just know that we're going to have to split time, okay? And not be so me. Zariah, bitch, it's been 7 months and she still don't understand that. She is such a, I cannot be cool with a person like that. She disgusts me so much. She has a very, very, very nasty and evil spirit on her. Okay. And it comes off every time. It's seeping out of her pores. Okay. That's why her skin look like that still. It's just too much. It's too much for nothing. So you got the man that you want to be with, right? After you did what you did to get with him and then cheat on him and he still took you back. Which, I'll give you a pass on that because nigga was locked up, so who gives a shit? I feel like, what you want me to do while I'm out here? There's so much I can do with my hand, okay? And the rose is probably out, you know what I'm saying? So, I give you a pass on that, Zariah, but at the same time, you got the person that you want. And I just cannot stand an insecure person within a relationship who always gotta track somebody, who always thinking the negative and the worst about their partner, and thinking, oh, they gonna go out and they gonna do this. I don't know what they doing and I don't know what this, and you better tell me this and you better tell me this and blah, 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 blah. Bitch, you do some shit like that to me, I'm gone. I cannot stand a nagging ass person. If I can't put up with somebody that nags in just real life, like regular life, at work, a person that just walks up, a coworker, I will never be with somebody that's a friend that's a nagger, because I just will have to say, I can't do it. I can't do it. So there's no way I'm going to be in a relationship with somebody that does that. Okay? And that's what she does. You get so deep in your goddamn feelings just because this man got to go to Buffalo to go see his kid, see what's going on with his bruh, his family that he hasn't seen in years. You automatically thinking that he up there finna be doing something wrong, or that he living a double life. This man has made a home with you. This man has literally got out and he made a business to the point where when we last saw y'all was going through some mess, and it came to the point that your ass who was free and clear, who was walking all free, never behind the bars, got them and got y'all in some financial troubles and damn near evicted. You know what I'm saying? This man, you had y'all behind on the bills. This man when he got a goddamn business. Now y'all got a house. Now y'all financially secured and stable for right now. And then you get it in your feelings because he gotta go check up on his brother. Now mind you, I wasn't even mad at the fact that when Karen called him and he said, Mama, what the fuck you want? He basically said that, okay? It was like, where's Zariah at? Because I don't want her to get all, I don't feel like him, how she gonna react and all that stuff. And it's so effed up that even though we know that she don't like her and they got their issues or whatever, and her saying that, the fact that she already know that if she would have told her that in front of her, she still would have had a problem with it. And that's exactly what it is. You gotta go check up on your brother. She trying to call about your brother and his mental state of mind. And she already know, everybody already know, Zariah gonna have a problem with it. Oh, because we can't spend our first Christmas together. This is my first. Okay, yeah, we get that. But I really feel like an exception should be made when it comes down to the fact that you have not been there for a long time. This is your brother. Y'all don't have a man in the house right now because the daddy is gone. You're the older brother. And he need a little bit of guidance, probably a little bit of tough love. He needs something. He miss you, and that should have been what it was. Okay? It wouldn't have been no ifs, and a bust about it at this point. And I get it. You want to be there with your family. And I'm talking about when his sister called to tell him what was up. He didn't want to hear right, really. And I feel like he was only acting like that because he knew how Zariah was going to act. And that's just messed up. But I'm so glad that he eventually decided that he was going to go down there and see his brother. Because that's what he needed to be at. He needed to be where his little brother was and see about him and mentally. Because the way that it was sounding, it's like he was on the edge. He's not answering nobody's calls. The sister said he was erratic and doing a whole bunch of other stuff that's just out of the norm or whatever. It's scary. She don't know what to do. Yeah, you go down there and you give that brotherly love that he needs right about now. And also go see your daughter. That's what you need to do. And now let me tell you something, Troy. Mind you, I kind of understand why you did it this way because of how that bitch is. But you got to communicate with the girl. Listen. Okay? Regardless of how I may feel about that bitch, you do got to communicate with her. You have to communicate with her, and you should have told her that, listen, babe, so this is what's going on. I just got off the phone with my sister. Some shit that's happening with my brother. I'm just going to go ahead and head down there and see what's going on with him. And, maybe spend a couple of days and then I'll be right back. You could have told her that in advance. She still would have bitched and moaned about it. But at least she wouldn't continue to bitch and moan about the fact that you didn't tell her in advance. Okay? And you just didn't just wake up and be like, my bag's packed. I'm finna be down in Buffalo for a couple of days. And then I'll see you later. Because, shit going on with my bruh. I'll give Zariah that, okay? But at the same time, still, the fact that she said, oh, so you finna go down there to see Troy? Let me go with you. Baby, no. She's getting upset because she can't go over there and be with him while he sees his daughter. And then you talk about this is so we can, I can talk to her mama and so that we can get this stuff figured out. Absolutely the fuck not. First of all, you not finna, how you just gonna spring up on somebody? How you just gonna spring up on somebody that you got an issue with without calling and setting a date? You can't just pop up and think you could just talk it out just because Christmas is around the corner and we supposed to be in a jovial mood. Absolutely not. No. I said, Zariah, if you don't get your ass up out of here and stop it, and then really was copping the attitude and really was upset that this man was about to leave. This man was going to see there's no trust in that relationship, and it's not coming from Troy, it's coming from her, and that relationship is doomed to fail, okay? I don't care what they doing now. I don't care if it's a baby or whatever. It's not going to last. It is not going to last. They're not going to last, okay? It's going to give very much Brittany and Marcelino. We thought they probably 9 out of 10 was going to last, but look at them. Ain't they getting a divorce already or something like that? Yeah, they'll be together probably for a couple more years, and then it's going to break up. Because if she keep on acting like this, absolutely not. She disgusted the fuck out of me. Okay? And that tells you, listen, if I let everything else slide and you act like this when I need to go check on my sibling that I haven't seen in a minute and they're going through a mental situation, we're done. We're absolutely done. Ain't no coming back from that. You not even gonna go over there and rub your man's back and be like, well, go ahead and go see your brother. You know, that he really needs that. And I'm so sorry you're going through this or whatever, but, you know, everything's going to be okay. You didn't even give him no encouragement. You was just thinking about yourself. You are a selfish-ass bitch. That's just really what it is. And you want to know who else is a selfish-ass bitch on this show? Baby, it's a few of them, okay? It's a couple of them. But let's just get to the other one. Number 2, Brooke and goddamn JK. Baby, Brooke mama, now let me tell you something. JK, I understand you upset at the fact that the girl lied to you about having a job. But baby, you ain't got no job either. But I give you a little slight pass because you say the bitch can't keep a job no more than 3 months. Okay? You said the girl been through job after job after job within 1 year. Okay? So I can understand the frustration. But at the same time, baby boy, you ain't got a job either. Every time we see you, you smoking on that goddamn vape or you sitting on your mama couch. You ain't doing shit either. Niggas went and came out of jail. The ones that, how is it that the white boy, I hate to do this. But the niggas come out to jail and they got a job right away. DeMondre got a job. 9 out of 10, Keith about to get a job. Well, we'll talk about that in a second, okay? Bitch, everybody else got a job. You ain't got no job, and it's been a month. It's probably been over a month now. We haven't even seen you go out looking for anything. What? No. And so you upset in your feelings about that. But at the same time, you did go and see your ex-girlfriend without telling the girl. But at the same time, I would be upset too because you lost your job because you went chasing after me. For what? Because ain't nobody tell you, because you just jealous. You insecure as fuck too. And you're dumb as hell. So she over there at the crib with her mom, which I'm pretty sure she stays with her mother, you know. And so basically it seems like the mama just the ones that watching the kids. All right. Cooking for them and all this stuff. This girl is in the bathroom. She done took multiple pregnancy tests. And I said, ain't this about a bitch? I said, tell me you not. Girl, we don't know. It's inconclusive. That's what I'm going to say. Because she took 6 pregnancy tests. 4 of them things came out positive and 2 of them came out negative. Baby, where did you get them from? Did you see their expiration date? And then she goes and tell her mom, and the mom was like, ain't this about a fucking bitch? Ain't nobody happy about this. Now, prior to that, she asking the boys had they heard from JK. They said, no, we haven't heard nothing from him or whatever. And then she and the mama, they talking and was like, regardless of the fact that we got into it or whatever, he said that regardless of what's going on, he will always be there for the boys and all that stuff. And now he going back on his promise and woo, 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 woo. Her and the mama saying the same thing. he's already showing what he type of man he is, and he can't keep a promise and all this stuff and whatever. And I'm sitting here like, why are you putting all this on this man? You know, and I hate to do this. But mama, you should have said, why are you putting your kids in this situation? That's what you should have said. Okay? Why are you putting your kids in this situation so that they have to depend on this man and getting their feelings into, linked to this man? Okay? So that they can't get hurt in this situation because your daughter's so goddamn fucking dumb. Technically speaking, JK don't owe them kids nothing. JK don't owe them kids nothing because those are not his kids. He only been out for a month. That's just what it is, okay? He barely got his life together and you want him to be instant daddy? She don't even be at the house with the man, with the kids. She always over there with JK. So like, what? And then, when she goes, the mama said, go check and see for real if you are pregnant before you tell them. She said, fuck that, I'm finna go over there and tell him. Because they haven't heard to talk to each other in a minute, right? So she goes over there, tell him that she could possibly be pregnant. Man, so what we gonna do? I don't know what we gonna do. Like, what the fuck? And I'm sitting here like, it's instant regret on his face. You went and you wanted to get this girl pregnant this whole time, and when it finally so-called possibly happens, you don't know what to do because it's quicker than you thought. But what the fuck did you think was gonna happen when you fucking with no protection? And you literally actively and purposely trying to get pregnant. What did you think was gonna happen? Okay? The girl fertile. She got 2 kids. And then he goes in there to tell the mama and the stepdad to come out. Baby, when they sat down, I felt like they already knew some bullshit was about to happen. But the daddy was he was all of us. He said, Daddy, I need to let y'all know that Brooklyn took some pregnancy tests. She said, God damn it, motherfucker. What the fuck did I tell you? Okay? Your mama gave you some condoms. What, did you think that she just gave it to you so that you could use it for decorations? No, bitch. I said, I know that's fucking right. That is the only response that you needed. And it was the correct tone, the correct anger, the correct language, and the correct, volume, okay? Because it could have went a little bit higher. He could have knocked over some shit, but he said, listen, I'm not finna fuck on my house because of this man, okay? Because his stupidity. But you got another one coming, you know what I'm saying? His whole thing and Kathy's whole thing is, what the fuck is the problem with waiting? And Brooke had the nerve to say in that confessional, wow, I'm not getting a response that I thought that you would give when you find out that your child is about to have another child. It's about to have a child. Okay? What? You don't think that that's a blessing? You don't think that that's something to be happy about? Like, I'm a good mother. Okay? I said, she said, regardless of what me and him going through right about now, I know he a good man and he'll be a good daddy. And I know for damn sure I'm a good mama. I don't want to question people's parenting skills. But from what they showing us, you're not. You're not. You're not. You're not. You're putting a man before your kids at this point. You're putting trying to make another baby before the kids that you actually have. And when I say you putting a man before your kids, if you were thinking about your kids, you would not have left your job to go stalk and track down a man that's only been out of prison for a couple of days. For a man that's been in prison. Literally, no, you're not. That's not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Leaving your kids at home days at a time just so that you could play house in this man's mama's house with this man who ain't got nothing and can't provide for your kids, can't provide for him. Absolutely not. Mind you, no. And you got the nerve to feel some type of way about the fact that they got the reactions that they having. Like they said, you can't afford it, bitch. You both ain't got no job and you ain't got no savings. You don't have any money. And I was here for when the daddy said, oh, y'all gonna have to figure this shit out because we ain't finna take care of shit and we ain't giving you nothing. And I said, that's what it do. All right. Now I'm all the way here for, grandparents stepping in when they need to, and 9 out of 10, once that baby come, they gon' if it is a baby, they gonna soften up and they gonna be there. Cause my bitch, I'm finna spill a little something. When my little sister came out here, and I'm gonna tell you this, mind you, it was for different reasons, right? Okay. It was for a different reason. So if you don't know, I grew up in the Jehovah's Witness religion. Yeah, okay, yeah. I was born into it. I never got baptized. So, girl, when I cut ties, I cut ties. I ain't have to go through all of that other shit or whatever. Okay, fine. So my mama was in it too, whatever. My mama got this fellowship, and when my mama got this fellowship for the second or third time, she just said, "Fuck it, bitch." Okay, my mama got this fellowship. I'm putting her tea out there, bitch. We already know this, and she wound up getting pregnant. Okay, Mama was out there being a little hot and ass. She had a little fun. That's fine. Okay, cause she been locked up for a minute. So listen, go out there, do what you gotta do. She had a little man, but that was her man, and they had a slip up. Okay, I said, first of all, bitch, you a little bit too old to be having a slip up. She was around my age. Okay, she was. When my mama got pregnant with my little sister, she was 37 years old. Okay, 1 year younger than me. I said, girl, what? I'm about to graduate from high school. What is your problem? My grandmother, and if you don't know anything about the Jehovah's Witness religion, it's part of Christianity. It's a denomination of Christianity, just like Catholics and Baptists and all that shit, right? But I feel like all of that shit is kind of cultish, but this was really cultish, okay? We can talk about that at another time. I already did a couple of videos about how I feel about that shit. But once a person is baptized and then they get this fellowship, basically everybody in the congregation isolates your ass. They don't talk to you. You can show up, but they don't say shit to you, okay? And so that goes for family too, who are baptized and, in the religion as well. They basically, just like disown you. You know what I'm saying? They don't have any, they cut off all ties. So my grandma did that with my mama for a second, right? And then when she found out that my mama was pregnant, she literally said, well, don't come to me and think that I'm finna help you out with this baby. Bitch, as soon, mind you, she went the whole pregnancy. I think she did that. She said that shit. I was like, what? That kind of made me look at my grandma like, what the fuck? Bitch, when the baby got here, who was there? My grandma. The grandma's the baby, okay? That's literally what it is. And that's just how Kathy and I say all that to say, they gonna still be loving on that baby if it comes, okay? They say that shit right now. They gonna still try to help out because they don't want to see the kids suffer, okay? Granted, my mama wasn't gonna suffer whatever. That the baby daddy was very much active in his child's life, okay? It was just, religious shit. But on this case, these broke bitches, y'all don't need no goddamn kids, okay? Moving on from that, Bianca and Daniel, get the fuck up off my TV. Daniel, I've never seen somebody that says, bitch, I don't want to be with you, without saying I don't want to be with you, but we know that you don't want to be with them, and then he eventually say, the bitch is nagging me. She gets on my goddamn nerves. I'm dreading going the fuck home, okay? She threw a whole fit because she got a call from the PO, his parole officer, and he basically told her that he wasn't coming home that night, or Daniel had told them that he wasn't going to come home that night because he had to drive back from where he was to do the court case, and then it would have been a long drive, late drive, which is understandable, but the PO was just like, to keep it on the safe side, they didn't feel like it was safe for him to do that. But he did get a hotel room. So, of course, in her mind, she's getting upset. I mean, I'm thinking that they like the PO is about to say, oh, he never showed up for court. And what wound up happening is, they found him sprawled out in the street, high as hell or drunk as shit. And we got him in jail and he's going back to jail. That's how she was acting when she said, no, he's not coming back. He's not coming back. Take this mic off of me. I don't want to talk. No, could you respect that? Okay, I'm not going to talk. Can you at least tell us what happened? No, I don't want to talk. I said, girl, get the fuck up out of here. When they said what it was, I said, bitch. See, that's why the man don't want to be with you. And I'm sorry. I don't like all that. it gets too much, and that would shut me down the way that she acts. And I don't want to agree with Daniel, but I understand the shutting down of it all. Okay? Because let's be honest and let's be clear. Daniel ain't shit either. Alright? You knew, and this is why I don't feel bad for him at all. Because this is what happened, and I'm not saying, and I don't want to generalize, because there are 20-something-year-olds that are young 20s, mid 20s, older 20s. They are mature. They know how to carry themselves. They know how to take care of themselves. They know how to act like a goddamn adult instead of a nagging ass child. Bianca is on the nagging ass child type of situation. She spoiled herself. She feels as though she got this settlement money so she could just breeze on through life and she don't have nothing else to do. That is her problem. That is her problem. She is smothering the shit out of this man, and he don't want it. He feels like he is locked down again and he just got out. Okay? He is having to report to her everything that he does, where he's at. And when it gets to the point where you're going ahead and you're leaving the house without even speaking to each other, you're going long distance and you're not even texting or, calling to let them know what's going on. Yeah, it's just time to go out of that situation, okay? And I get it, y'all just signed the lease. Is his name on the lease too? Take that motherfucker off the lease, okay? And let him go be with his friend Gary and his wife, soon-to-be wife, because no, this is not finna work, and we already know it's not gonna work. We already know it's over with, but we just knew from day one that it wasn't gonna work. Neither one of them are being honest, and I wish Gary could. Gary, Daniel, you need to just pull your big boy shorts up, okay? Pull your big boy drawers up. Be a fucking man and say, "This is over. I can't do this. This is not gonna work," and we both know that it's not gonna work. You feel me pulling away because I am pulling away. And we do find out that he did go to court. He only got a $50 fine, $50 restitution. I said $50. You stole over $600 worth of shit, and you only got to pay back $50 and do a little couple of hours of community service. That's a good fucking deal, bitch. Okay, I'm like, no problem. I ain't gotta go no. Here's the 50 right here, and we good, baby. That community service will be done by the weekend. Okay, that would have been me. And would have been done with it. Okay, he go over there and he go kick it with his friends when he come back. And mind you, he just like when he talking to them. First of all, the friends are bad influence, but at the same time, that they see what it is. Especially Gary. You are complaining, and they saw it firsthand. She's a nagger. She nags and she's tracking him, and if it comes to the point where every time you see her or a person's name pop up that's supposed to be the person that you're supposed to be with, that you're supposed to love and want to respect and want to spend a lifetime with, and you dread it every time you see the name come up, and you just and then you don't want to answer, that means, baby, either we gonna have to talk this shit out and figure what the fuck is going on, or we gonna have to have that conversation and say, baby, we gonna have to leave each other because this ain't working. And that's just all that it is to it. Moving on to it, please don't stay in situations that you know ain't gonna fucking work. Please trying to make fetch happen and shit that don't work. Y'all up there trying to put triangle shapes up into a square box, okay? Can it fit? It could possibly fit. Let me take that back. You try to put triangle shapes up in a circle, bitch. It's just not gonna fit. Okay? The little box, baby, it's not gonna fit. Okay? Put it in the right shape. And if the shapes don't fit, baby, move on to the next. Sometimes you try to be a little deep. And it sounds a little bit better when you say it in your head. What? Okay. Anyway, moving on from that, bitch. Leticia. Girl. Excuse me, hold on one second. Let me find it. Cause a couple of y'all sent me the message and everything, and I was like, God damn. Okay. Okay, that ain't it. Anyway, basically, I can't find the charges, but I know what they. I seen the whole situation. The people sent me, tagged me and stuff, whatever. I wish I could find it, my messages, whatever. But basically, Leticia, you a scamming ass bitch too. Like, wow. Girl, y'all lit my inbox up and was tagging me in everything. They was like, bitch, this girl is in jail. Okay. She in jail. I think her bond was like, it was a few thousand, right? Or something like that. And it was people that don't know how to read. And they had put the mugshot up there. They had put her list of charges up there. She had got arrested last week. On even more charges, okay? Mind you, she opened up or was trying to open up a new business called a paralegal hustle or some shit like that. Some shit, trying to do a paralegal system. And if it got hustle in the title, I'm not finna work with that. I don't want to deal with that, because I'm gonna feel like you want some when it comes to law, it gives like you're not up to date. You remember earlier in her season when she went to go meet with that dude that was a paralegal, and he basically was effing him over, and he had became a paralegal after he got out of jail, and he didn't go through the right channels to do that, because he feel like he know what he got to do because he was in jail looking at stuff instead of actually going to school for it or whatever. It was one of those type of situations. I don't know if you need to go to school for it, but I just feel like you should, because that's in the law area. Even though you're not a lawyer, you're in that area. You know what I'm saying? And therefore, I wouldn't do that, okay? And I said, that man took your money, and so now you saw what he did, and now you're about to do the same thing? What? That's literally what it feels like. You already, and now the way that she came onto the show, when this particular part, Life After Lockup, started, and she said she do got a little charge against her because one of the clients tried to say, that she basically stole their money. And then the way that she was trying to make it seem like was, oh, they lied, we got proof, and we gonna be good. Yeah, I definitely believe that. Not her, but I believe the client. Okay, because not only did they come out with the fact that the girl got arrested and she was currently in jail by the time, I seen the video with her talking on the phone, girl, in the jail jumpsuit and everything. I said, God damn, Leticia, your man just got out and you going back in? Like, what the freak? And when I say going back in, she's been in jail before a few times. I said, girl, what? She got a little record on her too. So now it makes sense why you wanted a jailbird. And mind you, where Keith at? Y'all give me some information on Keith. Put it in the comments so I can see what's going on. Are they still married? Okay, is he gonna stick by her side? Because she's definitely getting time. She is definitely getting time now. All right. Is he gonna stick by her side the same way that she did him? I probably doubt it, but who knows? He'll probably still be there, but he'll be fucking bitches on the side while she's out too, in there too. So hey, it is what it is. But he finally get out the halfway house. But before they get out the halfway house, she and his daddy go over there to a lawyer to talk to him about how to get custody of one of Keith's son, Damari, okay. He has 3 other kids, I believe. And one of them had, the mama lost custody of him because it was some basically child neglect or some mess that was going on. And he went into the system. And she said, in Illinois, I said, y'all up here? I said, DCFS? Yeah, DCFS, Department of Children Family Services. I said, oh, shit. Yeah, you're going to have to go through some shit to get that baby out there. And, they trying to fix that situation, right? And, I think he's now with the dad, and not Keith, but Keith's father. And, they just trying to go through, see what they have to do to get, the babies in custody. Get Keith to get the baby, get him out of DCFS custody and all that shit, and permanently be with Keith. But at the same time, I did like the lawyer, okay? Because at first I said, but no, he was spitting that shit that they needed to hear. And the daddy was sitting there, and you could tell that he wanted to say some shit, but he had to keep his mouth closed, because at the end of the day, what that lawyer said is true. 1, it is going to impact the fact that, Keith was in prison and he literally just got out. He just got out the halfway house. 2, Leticia, you possibly about to go to jail. Now your ass in jail and you're about to get some years. I don't feel like she's getting out. And if they going to bond her out, baby, she going right back in once she get a trial date. Okay? And truth be told, you need to not even play with these people tax money and just go ahead and plead guilty and say, I forego a trial and girl, just give me my sentence so we can get this shit over with. Because baby, if I know that I'm guilty, bitch, I would have put y'all through this shit. Mr. Miss Judge, how many years? Okay, that's literally what it is. And you're probably, because in my mind, I feel like if I just go ahead and do that, bitch, they'll probably reduce my sentence. Because listen, I went on ahead and told the truth, bitch. I ain't put y'all through that shit and then fuck around and get the maximum. Oh, hell no, what the fuck? Let me stop. But yeah, so you got that going on. And then when Leticia said, and Keith, even though he went to prison or whatever, he is a good dad. He was always up in the boy's life still or whatever. And then the lawyer said, well, if he really, just because you think that he's a good person and you want to say that he's a good person, when a judge look at it, it's probably not going to be that. Because at the end of the day, we're in this situation because had he not been to prison, had he not did what he did to go to prison, this situation wouldn't be doing what's going on right now. Baby, when he did that shit, oh, girl, you could see the face drop on Leticia and the daddy, okay? Because the lawyer was correct. If he cared about his kids enough, he wouldn't have did what he did, okay? And if he was going to do what he was going to do, he would have been a little bit safer with it, okay? And not get caught, and that's just really what it was. Then we get this whole situation with the little girl calling him daddy, and we going through the fact of she got to figure out that that's not her bio dad. Girl, I just don't like that situation. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. Now because you telling them all of this stuff and now you got a daddy in the house. Now you're going to have a brother and all this stuff. Woo, 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 and we all going to be together. Now you about to go to jail. Look at what you're doing to... Y'all be thinking about all these schemes to get rich and to, get over, and you talking and you make it in your mind saying, I'm doing this for my family, but you're not thinking about your family if you get caught in what they will have to go through, especially if you have kids. That little girl gonna get impacted the most for right now. Okay? And truth be told, the oldest, she already impacted. That's why she quiet and she's keeping it in and she don't want to have no parts of it. Them kids need therapy. And they need to watch them because you're putting them through a lot of shit unnecessarily. All right? Moving on from that, Courtney and Will, baby, please stick to what you just said. Courtney is not the one, okay? Courtney is just playing you. Because how the hell are you on the phone with me, your so-called husband, and you are getting upset at me because I'm upset at you because you couldn't even stay clean for a whole month, and then you got back into jail, and you getting upset because I don't want to give you money. I don't want to come out there and see you right about now because that's rewarding bad fucking behavior, because you don't understand what tough love is. And so therefore you're trying to make it seem like it's all Will's fault. And if I was in this situation and you was going through it and I would do this, no, you wouldn't. You would absolutely not. And then to have Mark still there. And he was like, is you there with somebody else? Because Mark started. Yeah. Let me tell you something. Mark is a character, okay? And I kind of like him. That man is funny. When they was on that phone, and he was like, I don't even remember what she said. And then Will responded. It was like, you ain't got to say nothing. Mark, shut the fuck up. He said, you got somebody in the background. When Mark started laughing at him, bitch, that shit made me. I said, Mark, you are hilarious. Shut up, okay? First of all, you are a weak, pathetic man. I just want you to know that. The way that you're waiting for some puss that you're never going to get, but you probably, I don't know. I don't think that she gave him any, other nookie. Possibly a hand job. Okay? But I don't think, no, I don't even think that she let him, sniff it. And if she did, she probably put her fingers down there and put it in his face. I don't think she let him touch it. Okay? but he wants to. That's why he keeps sticking around. And it's the fact that you are allowing yourself to be a cuckold. You're a cuck. That's what it is, a cuckold. You're a cuck. Okay? You're sitting around just waiting and being okay with the woman that you want to be with. Got her husband going through what they going through, and you just sitting there because you think that you can come and swoop in. That is pathetic as fuck. And then you're putting this shit on TV. What if I was a woman of any stature and I see that? I wouldn't want to be with a man like that, cause like you what? You could be easily walked over. You don't get protective vibes, okay? I could just easily walk over your ass, and you could just, girl. I said, Courtney, when Will said, "Bitch, we done," we done. Courtney, you go through all of that, and you saying all that bullshit, try to make it seem like you really care about that man, and you laid up in the bed with Mark. Granted, y'all ain't doing nothing, y'all fully clothed, but you are getting comforted by your sugar daddy. Let's just call it what it is. Will said it's the sugar daddy, and it's the sugar daddy, bitch. We know what it is. We see what our eyes see. Okay? Bullshit. I said, Will, you keep on with that. Stick with it. Okay? Stick with it. Do not turn back. Keep going forward. Let that hoe go. He said, you're not a wife. I said, we could have told you that a long time ago. Could have told you that. And see, this is, and mind you, I don't even think they were talking that long before she got out and they went through all this. I don't even think it was a year. So therefore, you don't know her. Okay? And, no. Okay? You see, I hate this look. I really want to cut this. Because it's so raggedy looking, but whatever. And I'm just sitting here like, what? And again, Will, I don't feel sorry for you either, because like I said, you ain't know this bitch. And then you went on ahead and got married to her. I'm like, sir, what? You that desperate? You that desperate? Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell. Absolutely not. Baby, when Courtney said, what did you expect when you get on a website looking for prison? I said, well, Will, she got you on that point right there. What the fuck did you expect, okay? But yeah, up them. Who else was on this episode? I feel like I might be forgetting somebody. We got the new ones, Zariah and Troy. We got Bianca and Dan. We got Leticia and Keith. We got Courtney and Will. We got Brooke and JK. That's 5, right? DeAndre and Kiana, that's probably gonna be next week. I feel like we got everybody, right? Yeah, we got everybody. Hold on. Y'all, for y'all put up in the comments and be like, no, bitch, you missing this and you missing that. Oh, okay, don't jump down my throat. I want to make sure I give y'all everything. Okay, give you everything you need. Lockup positive. Okay, we got Brooke and JK. We got Will. Oh, Justine and goddamn Michael, bitch. That's the one. Mind you, nobody gives a shit. Y'all probably was like, Justine and Michael. Michael and Justine. Miguel. That's what you would sit there like, okay, I get it. It was coming to me. I felt it, bitch. It was hitting me like that. But anyway, the aftermath of their little breakout session of a fight. They was out there cussing each other out without cussing each other out. She hit him where it hurt when she called him a mama's boy. He was like, I'm not no mama's boy. Mind you, only for the mama to get up in the confessional with him and say, yeah, he's my mama's boy. And he knows it. What the fuck? But yeah, them two, I feel like Justine is justified for being upset again. Because one, you didn't tell me what was going on. That's the only reason why. 2, Michael does make a little bit sense when it comes to the money situation, but at the same time, you are taking a risk, and it's a game of chance, because you don't know if opening up this barbershop is gonna make money right away, and it's not. Okay, you gotta wait probably a couple of years before you really start seeing a good profit. You know what I'm saying? After you pay off the initial investment, then you gotta return and pay off the other stuff, the employee girl, it's gonna probably take a couple of years. And so that's what Justine is look like. Justine, I actually, when it comes to this wedding shit, girl, bump it for right now. Okay, you can put it to the side for a second. But let me tell you something. Michael, you wouldn't be up in my house for a minute. Well, granted, she let him in there because y'all got 9 kids. I wouldn't go that far because, baby, I'm not finna take care of these kids all by myself. Yeah, you wouldn't be sleeping in the room with me for a minute, okay? Because why is we in a conversation about money and about you not telling me what's going on in this wedding, and you pop up and you go and throw. What you need to do is you need to go talk to your mama and you talk to your sister and figure out the reason why y'all don't even talk and the reason why y'all relationship is what it is. That's what your issue is. And you up here trying to throw it, you up here deflecting, and you using your issue with your parents and your mom and all that shit, and you bringing it over here. That's why you mad. Bitch, do not try to gaslight me and reverse psychology me. No, you will not. Okay, Justine said, you know what, fuck you, and that's why you're a mama's boy. Bitch, Justine, I was on your side on that part. Because how dare you try to throw something that ain't got shit to do with this goddamn conversation that we are having. My relationship with my mama and my sisters ain't got shit to do with this, okay? It's about money. That's what it's about, and communication. Okay? And when it comes to the point where you talking to your mama about what's going on, and your mama said, both y'all bitches need to go to therapy. Well, I wasn't expecting her to say that. And she did say Justine probably needed a little more. And I said, well, truth be told, y'all needed just about the same. Okay? Because both of them got issues. He's been locked up. We got to combat that. And he was used to having fast money because he was out there in the streets. Now he got to get that legal money. If it's all legal. Okay? Because I really feel like Jay is scammy. But that's neither here nor there. Jay, you're probably not. But it's just given that. I just want you to understand. No shade. Okay? What else? But she feels some type of way. She did call him out on that when they asked. She was like, I miss sleeping up in the bed with you. Like, why? You wanted me to let you up in the room so that you could just hug, what you wanted to do, hug on me and kiss on me and all that stuff, and you would think that it's all to the good? I was like, yes. What the fuck? I was like, goddamn, bitch, that is me. Girl, we ain't gotta talk. You mad for what? Oh, girl, come on over here and stop playing. Okay, that's just me. Like, girl, you'll be alright. You'll be alright. That's what Michael wanted to do. He just wanted to feel on her because she bent over in front of him. Now, see, you do some shit like that in front of me, I would have forgot. Just let me rub up on your boo. You'll be alright. Okay, that's just really what he wanted to do. But they will be fine. And that's probably why they were so forgettable. I was sitting here struggling. Communication. That's all that it comes down to. Anyway. Y'all. This is Friday night and I give it to y'all. Y'all like, oh my God, bitch, you did it. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that, girl. Anyway, y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Thank you for tuning in. I will see y'all next week. For the ones that don't look at anything else, we will see and reconvene next week, either on Saturday. Do I work Saturday? I do work Saturday. So you will see me probably Friday, Saturday. No, I'll give y'all Friday. Friday, yeah. You'll see me Friday. Okay? Because I do work on Saturday. So y'all getting this now because I don't go to work tomorrow. I got tomorrow. Oh, thank goodness. But anyway, you guys enjoy. You guys have a good one. I'll see y'all later.